Welcome back to NM's Arena. In this video, we are going to discuss the measures of skewness. Before studying what is skewness, let us see what is a symmetric distribution. A frequency distribution is said to be symmetric if the frequencies are distributed symmetrically or evenly on either side of an average. In a symmetrical frequency distribution, the number of items above the mean and below the mean would be the same, and the items are symmetrically arranged above the mean. And in this case, the Q3 and Q1 are equidistant from the median. So in the case of a symmetrical distribution, the curve will be a bell-shaped one. Just like the one seen here, the curve will be a bell-shaped one for a symmetrical distribution. So that the items on either side of this ordinate will be the same. To this side as well as this side, the number of items would be the same. And for a symmetric distribution, the mean, median and mode would be the same, and it will be here. This will be the mean, median as well as mode. That will be equal. If that symmetry is not there, then there is skewness. So we can understand that skewness is the lack of symmetry, or we can say it is asymmetry. The skewness literally means asymmetry, lack of symmetry. So if a distribution is skewed, there will be more items on one side of the mode than the other side. And in the case of a skewed distribution, the mean and median will be pulled away from the mode. It will be different. We have seen that in the case of a symmetric distribution, mean, median and mode are the same. But if a distribution is skewed, then mean, median and mode will be different. They are not equal. And for a skewed distribution, the Q1 and Q3 will not be equidistant from the median. It will have a long tail on one side and a short tail on the other side. Most of the economic data we can see skewed distributions like income, saving, etc. all have got skewed distributions. And this skewness may be either positive or negative as seen in the picture. See, the skewness may be either negative or positive. That is, the curve will have a long tail either on the right side or in the left side. Now let us see what is a negatively skewed distribution and a positively skewed distribution. For that, first let us analyze the symmetric distribution. This is a symmetric distribution because it has got equal area on the left side as well as the right side. It has got a bell-shaped curve. So a symmetric distribution exhibits a bell-shaped curve. And another feature of symmetric distribution is that the mean, median as well as the mode are the same. Here, this is the mean, median as well as the mode. That is why this becomes a symmetric distribution. Now let us see what is a skewed distribution. See, both of these figures are skewed, and this figure is skewed to the left. This curve is skewed to the left. So this is a negatively skewed distribution, and this curve is skewed to the right. So it is a positively skewed distribution. And the skewness is said to be negative when the mean is less than the median and the median is less than the mode. See, the number or the frequency increases when it goes to the right side. So mode is the highest, and then less than that comes the median, and mean is again lesser than the median. So it is a negatively skewed distribution. This curve shows a negatively skewed distribution. Now, in the case of a positively skewed distribution, the mean is greater than median and the median is greater than the mode. And the curve will be skewed to the right. More than half of the items or the more than half of the area in this curve falls to the right side of the highest ordinate. More than half of the area is right side of the highest ordinate. And here in this case, more than half of the area is to the left side of the highest ordinate. That is why it is negatively skewed and this one is positively skewed. So these are the different types of distributions. This is a symmetric distribution and both of these curves show asymmetry. And this is negatively skewed. This one is positively skewed. Now let us see the difference between the negatively skewed and positively skewed distributions. In the case of a negatively skewed distribution, mean is less than median. And for a positively skewed distribution, mean is greater than median. Then in the case of a negatively skewed distribution, median is less than mode. But for a positively skewed one, median is greater than mode. Another difference is that a negative distribution is skewed to the left and a positively skewed distribution is skewed to the right. The curve is skewed to the right. The next one is more than half of the area falls at the left side of the ordinate in the case of a negatively skewed distribution here, and in the case of a positively skewed distribution, more than half of the area falls to the right side of the highest ordinate. That is why it has become positive. So these are the differences between the positively skewed distribution and the negatively skewed distribution. When all these are equal, mean, median and mode are equal and the area to the left and the right side are same, then it is a symmetric distribution. Now let us see what is the difference between the dispersion and skewness. Dispersion considers the amount of variation, but skewness considers the direction of variation, whether it is left or right. On the basis of that, we can say a skewness is positive or negative. Now let us see how the skewness is measured. There are different ways of measuring skewness and the most important one is Karl Pearson's coefficient of skewness. The formula for measuring it is J is equal to mean minus mode divided by standard deviation. The J indicates skewness. So J is equal to mean minus mode divided by standard deviation. In case the mode is ill-defined or indeterminate, then the formula to be used is J is equal to 3 into mean minus median by standard deviation. This formula is used if the mode is ill-defined and the result will lie between minus 3 and plus 3. The J value or the skewness value will be between minus 3 and plus 3. Another formula to find the measure of skewness is Bowley's coefficient of skewness. The formula is J is equal to Q3 plus Q1 minus 2 median divided by Q3 minus Q1. Here the J lies between minus 1 and plus 1. The result may lie between minus 1 and plus 1. And another formula is contributed by Kelly. Kelly's coefficient of skewness. Here J is equal to D9 plus D1 minus 2 median divided by D9 minus D1. This formula is based on deciles. So 9th decile plus 1st decile minus 2 median divided by 9th decile minus 1st decile. Or we may also use percentiles. According to Kelly, we may also use percentiles for finding the skewness. If we are using the percentiles, the formula will be P90 plus P10 minus 2 median divided by P90 minus P10. So here the 90th percentile and the 10th percentile are used instead of 9th decile and 1st decile. Next is the skewness based on moments. This is another formula for calculating skewness on the basis of moments. So the coefficient of skewness here is measured as mu3 divided by square root of mu2 raised to 3. Mu3 divided by square root of mu2 raised to the power of 3. Then what is this mu2 and mu3? Let us see that. The mu1 is equal to sigma x minus x bar divided by n. So the data series or the distribution will be given. From that distribution, we have to calculate these values. Mu1 is equal to sigma x minus x bar divided by n. Then mu2 is equal to sigma x minus x bar square divided by n. And mu3 is equal to sigma x minus x bar whole raised to the power of 3. X minus x bar raised to 3 divided by n. So here it is mu2 raised to square, mu3 it is raised to 3. This x minus x bar is raised to 3, and after finding this, its sum is taken here. So that is how we find the coefficient of skewness based on moments. And if the distribution is a discrete series, then we have to add f here. We have to include f also in the formula. F into x minus x bar. Sigma f into x minus x bar. We have to change it accordingly. Here we have to put f. Sigma f into x minus x bar by n, and for mu2 sigma f into x minus x bar square by n. mu3 will be sigma f into x minus x bar whole raised to 3 divided by n. Now let us see how it is applied in a problem. Suppose the class intervals are given and the frequencies are also given. First of all, we have to find the x values, which are the mid values of the class intervals. Mid value of 0 to 2 is 1. That of 2 to 4 is 3. 4 to 6 is 5. Like that, we have to find the x values. Then we have to get the fx. F into x, that is fx. 2 into 1 is 2. 3 into 3 is 9. Like that, we have to find the fx. Then we have to get x minus x bar. For that, we have to calculate x bar. In this case, I have calculated the x bar and it is 4.2. The x bar for this problem is 4.2. That is the arithmetic mean. Then each of these x values have to be taken, and we have to do this x minus x bar. The mean has to be subtracted from the x values. That is 1 minus 4.2. That is minus 3.2. Here we have to use the sign. The minus sign should be kept as such. It should not be ignored. It should be here. So 1 minus 4.2 is minus 3.2. 3 minus 4.2 is minus 1.2. Similarly, 5 minus 4.2, 7 minus 4.2, 9 minus 4.2, all these are put out here, x minus x bar. The next is f into x minus x bar. Frequency into x minus x bar, say here, f into x minus x bar. So 2 into minus 3.2, that is minus 6.4. 3 into minus 1.2, that is minus 3.6. Like that, we have to find this column. The next column is f into x minus x bar square. So this x minus x bar square we have to find. x minus x bar minus 3.2 square minus 3.2 into minus 3.2. Then that has to be multiplied with the frequency 2. Minus 3.2 into minus 3.2 into 2. Then minus 1.2 into minus 1.2 into 3. Like that, each of this 0.8 square, 0.8 into 0.8, then that value into the frequency, that is 3. Like that, we have to get f into x minus x bar square. Then f into x minus x bar whole raised to 3. So first we have to find x minus x bar whole raised to 3, then into f. For that, each of these values are taken. Minus 3.2 raised to 3 into f, minus 1.2 raised to 3 into f, 0.8 raised to 3 into f. Like that, we have to find this column. And the sum of the values calculated is given here in red letters. Then the formula has to be applied. The coefficient of skewness is equal to mu3 divided by square root of mu2 raised to 3. Here I am applying the coefficient of skewness based on moments because this is the most important calculation or the formula to be used. So let us try to use this formula first. So mu1 is 0. Mu1 is f into x minus x bar divided by n, that is 0 divided by n, which is 0. Then we have to get, for this formula we have to get mu2 and mu3. Mu2 is 57.60 divided by 10, that is 5.76, and mu3 is 63.36 by 10, that is 6.36. When that is applied in the formula, 6.36 divided by square root of 5.76 whole raised to the power of 3. The answer is 0.46. So the coefficient of skewness here is 0.46. So it is not in negative or minus sign. It is positive. Hence we can analyze, or we can assume that the distribution is positively skewed. Here the distribution is positively skewed as the coefficient of skewness is 0.46. This is how the calculation is done when the coefficient of skewness is found based on moments. So that is all about measuring skewness. Thank you for watching this video. For more videos, subscribe the channel.